Hey guys, it's Mallard with another stamp video, and today I'm going to start the incredibly detailed task. Gonna take me a lot of time, but we're actually gonna start to organize my Chinese stamp collection. So to start off real quick, I thought I might just show you kind of what I have in this stock book. I did pick up this album about a month ago that has been just full of Chinese stamps, so I need to start organizing them into its own stock book. As you can see, got a few of those dragons up there. Come down, we got some boats. We got the harvesters on the bottom down here. And we flip the page. And this is why this next page, why I've really never delved into trying to organize these stamps, because there's so many different stamps with so many different overprints. And so what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this album to my left as a guide, but I of course also have my Scott Specialized catalog that has all the stamps in there, so I can kind of figure out how I'm gonna start to organize my stamps. We'll flip the page. I skipped that other one. Those are just blocks. And I have these guys. I actually really enjoy that one. That's a local post. Got some Shanghai. And we have that down there. So as you can see, I have a few Chinese stamps in this stock book. I didn't take a ton of time to organize these. I have a bin full of Chinese stamps. And so without further ado, let's get into it. The very first thing I'm going to do is actually come to the China section of this Scott catalog. And I'm going to familiarize myself with the kind of years certain stamps were printed. I do know early on we got these dragons, and there's big dragons and there's small dragons. I only have one dragon that I'll show you guys. So I'm going to leave a whole page open specifically for dragons and for these older stamps that you'll see, like these guys right here. I don't have any of those. Where I really start to pick up my stamps, don't have any of those either, are these right here. Now these stamps is where I start to pick up my collection. You know, that's kind of where it starts for me. I actually just looked, and I don't have any of these dragons or these carps. My stamp collection definitely starts right here with A17. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go to A17. I'm going to try and count how many there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it looks like there's 6 different A17s. And we'll move over here. And then the overprints start, obviously, on the A17s. Of course, they have a different Scott catalog number because the overprints are different. So we're going to start off with getting, sorry about the jerkiness, all of my A17s lined up. The album over there actually has no A17s in it, but as you can see, I have a few up here. Now, I separate them by denomination, not necessarily by overprints. You see this is overprinted, that's overprinted, that's overprinted, that's overprinted. These are not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go now to this red stock book back here, and I'm going to see what stamps I have that are overprinted, what stamps I have that are not overprinted, and I'm going to organize them that way. On the left side, I'm going to have stamps that are not overprinted on the left page, and then on the right page, I will have stamps that are overprinted. And that's kind of how I'm going to split up this Chinese album. When we get to these ships, I'm going to do the same thing. On the left side of the stock page, I'm going to have stamps that are not overprinted. On the right side, I'll have stamps that are overprinted. When we get into stamps like this, that might get a little more complicated. But for now, I think we can get away with that with these dragons, the ships, and the harvesters at the bottom. Like I said, I only have one dragon right there. Nothing to go home about. I actually got at the Chicago Stamp show. So I'm super excited I could pick up that dragon. And as you can see, I'm just going to leave this whole page blank. And I'm actually going to leave the next 2 pages blank just for the commemoratives and some of the stamps that I might end up having. I do know I have that commemorative, and I think there's one more, that one. That should go on these 2 pages, and I'm just going to leave them blank. I do have a very, very thick stock book here that I will use. So we're actually going to start off, turn the page, and this will be my Dragon Page A17. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start organizing them, and then I'll bring y'all right back in. So all my dragons that were in my original stock book are now out into this stock book. As you can see, I don't have a ton. I do like to keep the same denomination together on the same line. Of course, we have some color variation here, which I'm sure there's going to be. And then again, we had kind of this light bluer color and this green color that I want to keep on the same line because they are the same denomination. Going to the other page, half cent, 1 cent, 3 cent, then 10 cent. So yeah, these are all the exact same overprints except for the color. So there's black, these two right here are red, and then these two down here are red as well. So if I see a different overprint, I will put it on the same line, but not, of course, stacked on top of the stamp that has a red overprint with a black overprint. I'm just not going to do that. I'm going to make sure I keep them separated. So that's why that black one's up there. For example, if I get a 1 cent kind of orange dragon here with a black overprint, I'm just going to move that and put it right over here to keep them separated. All right, so next up, I think it's the boats. Now, this album I got actually does have these boats, and what I love about this and albums that are this detailed is they have the nomination for this particular set. So we just got to count for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That means I'm going to need at least 12 places on one page, which means I'm probably going to stack these two higher denominations on the same line, probably with the 7 and the 6. Just going to be super easy because I'm assuming the lower denominations will be easier to find. Once again, I'm going to put the stamps that are not overprinted on the left side, and the stamps that are overprinted, I'll put them on the right side of the stockbook page. Let's get into it. Now, before Chinese stamp experts roll over in their grave about how I'm doing this, I do know that there are two different types of this printing. As you can see on the one on the left, it's way more defined. The waves are sharper, the boat is sharper, and over here everything looks a little more faded. I do know there are two different print types. I am not gonna worry about that. I'm just gonna put them together one day. If I get super into Chinese stamps, I'm sure I will separate them, but for now, I'm gonna keep it as simple as I can. Same denomination, no overprint. We're gonna keep them together. All right, now all of our boats are ready to go. As you can see, put them in order. Something interesting that happened was on this 4 center. It's kind of like an olive green. We've got a red one. Come over here. That's definitely like kind of a gray color. I don't know if it's like kind of oxidized that turns it gray, but I did find a few of them, so I did set them aside. So I actually have 3 on that row, which isn't great if I end up getting a lot more. Don't have any 6s, don't have any 7s. Did pick up an 8. I do have some 10s here. Now when it comes to the overprints, these are all the same overprint. As you can see, I don't have a 2/3. I don't have a 3/4. And then these, of course, are the same overprint, but much different than that. So put these down here. There's always a risk I didn't leave enough room for the overprints on this page, but hey, it is what it is. And now, let's get in to the harvesting stamps. The harvesting stamps are pretty straightforward. 13, 15, 16 I do not have. I do have a 20, do not have a 30. I do have a 50, which is great because it leaves me all this room just in case I come across a huge lot of them or just in case I'm missing some denominations. Because I am doing this pretty quick. Flipping the page, we only have one overprint, and that is on the 15. Looks like there's a 5 over the 15. So I will definitely be adding to the harvesters as I come across those stamps. I do need to go get my bin and kind of sift through that, see if I can throw any in here just really, really quickly. But yeah, so this is the first video of me organizing my Chinese stamps. I hope you found it helpful. This is how I do things. It does take a lot of time. I've probably been here for an hour, hour and a half doing this. Just really trying to take care of my stamps and my collection. And as always, I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for watching.